I remember I was actually in the office down at the old school, and I was as athletic director. So I felt weird, different going from the school to my truck to the home. And I set the trash out. And I remember, going to my knee, and then I remember my head with just like a sharp pain. It was just like a stoppage is what it was. And I remember shaking my head and coming back to semi-reality.
He actually suffered it in the morning, kind of shook it off because he really wasn't aware of what was going on, held a couple of meetings, came back to school, went through practice. Our son Zach was a freshman on the football team. Jodi kept flipping his play calls, like instead of red 32, it was 32 red, and so the boys kind of knew. And he got hung up on one name of one of the football players, and he was calling all of the boys that. Jodi's best friend, Jay Powell, who's a speech pathologist also, came and said, Jodi's kind of, acting a little off. It's just very apparent there was something going on. Our family physician is also our team doctor, and so she had kind of called ahead and let them know that we were coming.
Mandy drove me down to the hospital. Dr. Straight was right behind us, and she met us at the hospital. And we went to the emergency room.
Camden Clark was definitely immediately ready for Jodi because our physician has direct contact with them. She was able to call and give them a heads up because we were transporting by personal vehicle. So as soon as we got to Camden Clark, we were taken right in. The admission process, went by very quickly. He was immediately taken back.
Camden Clark became stroke certified here in the past few years, and that has been one of our most evolving programs in integrating stroke alerts into the imaging people coming, the lab people coming. It's a group focus. Rarely do we take care of anything in isolation in an emergency department. The sickest of the sick is really a team effort, and that's the whole key to everything, is communicating, activating people, and getting timely response to the patient so they get the best outcome that we can.
I think that quick care was reassuring for us in a time that was very uncertain and very scary, and every professional that we came in contact with really was good about communicating what the next steps were and what we were to look at as far as next testing or when we were going to see a physician and things like that. So as a wife, it was very reassuring in a time that was really crazy.
And Jeff Soul, which is our principal, which wasn't the principal at the time, I know this, I remember this. He doesn't even know I remember this, but I remember him and his wife Lacey, and he had a Bible, and it was him and his wife, and like I said, this was before he was even principal.
Well, when I first heard about it, I was just in shock because I've known him for that long, and as him being my senior football coach, and then to obviously know him as an educator, as a friend, it was amazing that someone so young can go through something that he did, but at the same time bounce back the way that he did. Now, he had tons of support from not only myself, but his wife, but the community, and they've pretty much helped him from day one to even today, and that's what's amazing.
In fact, we want to stress more than anything else is come be evaluated quickly, because time is the rate limiting factor to what kind of options we have to offer you. The quicker you present yourself, the more tools we have in the toolbox. The longer you wait, the options that we have to improve your symptoms lessen and lessen by the hour. So really by the minute sometimes we run out of time. But we want to see you as fast as possible. If you have problems with your speech, you have unilateral weakness of one side or sensation changes, you have balance issues, we need to see you quickly, because in order to decrease and mitigate the long-term effect of these things, these are something we have to get to in a very time-sensitive manner.
And I remember going to Camden Clark, and they just were above and beyond helping me out. And then of course Camden Clark itself, they treated me personally just like out of this world.